Um, but yeah, I'm basically just, and this is, again, this is just like a giant dog brush. The teeth are kind of bent upwards towards this handle so that I can hold it by the handle and kind of just drag it down, and some of the wool will get caught on the tines of the dog brush thingy. Alright. And then I'm going to grab another blue one and do the same thing. The Badger says, I think it costs a couple $100 each time to get it done. Me? No. For me. And thank you for the bless you, Knitter Girl. Knitter Girl says, I always say thank you because everyone is so amazing in the community. I agree. Everyone is so amazing. Oh, Badgers, I was like super not reading back. I'm glad that I did before like going on. My flatmate has waist length blue hair, gets absolutely everywhere. I think it costs a couple $100 each time she gets it done. Yeah, I can imagine if she gets it done at a salon. Unless she's getting like a deal or something because she has like a friend who works at a salon and they're giving her like a good deal to do her hair, then yeah, no, that's gonna be pricey. But oh, so worth it, I'm sure. Actually, funny story that reminds me, because you said it gets everywhere, and I'm like, well, that reminds me of like when I dyed my hair. So at my kitchen, like, cause I have like brown wavy hair. At the first kitchen that I worked at, I used to be like a cook. They would always blame me when there was hair in the food, and I didn't work with the food at that kitchen. They had me on dish and prep duty, so I had nothing to do with the food that went out to the customers. And like I was not even on the same side of the kitchen. So it was like pretty obviously not my hair. But they would always like blame me for it. So then as soon as I got, and I have a common hair type, right? It's common hair length, common hair color. What would probably happen is it was probably the servers who would get their hair in the food. And then be like, no, it wasn't me, I didn't do it. And then I would get in trouble instead of them, because I was the new kid. And they didn't like me at that kitchen, which is like, they would bully me a lot. But yeah, and so as soon as I got my hair dyed, they stopped accusing me of that. Never again. They never once found a blue or purple or pink hair in the food. Not once. Not a single time. Of course, it didn't really make me feel any better because I already knew it wasn't mine, and I kept mine, you know, secured up on my head all the time anyways. But they were like so mad when I dyed my hair too. And I'm assuming it's just because then they couldn't keep blaming me. Like, I can only assume that's why. Cause like... her mother does it, that's just for the dye. Oh, if it's blue, if it's waist length, it would probably require like 1 or 2 tubes of semi-permanent dye, which, I don't know, they're not too expensive. That would be like $30 Canadian, I'm assuming. Just going by the prices that I pay for hair dye. They're not super expensive. It's cool of her mom to do that for her, though. But yeah, no, still $30 like every 2 months. I mean, it's a decent amount for hair care, but it's not terrible. So yeah, I'm just kind of going over this, you know, keep going back over with wool, and then this is a dog brush, but with the tines going the wrong way. So whereas a dog brush would have the tines angled downward, this one has the tines angled upward. So when I drag it, it's going against the grain of the, or it's going like, I guess, with the angle of the tines, so they're not catching on the wool, and they end up just kind of pushing it down into the board, so that now it's flatter, it's against the bottom of the board, and I can pile more on top. This also kind of helps to stretch the wool out to do this, kind of make it even smoother. Oh, good night, Badgers. Good night, all dream weird. I love it. Have a great night, Badgers, and sweet/weird dreams to you too. The only kind I ever have. Awesome. But yeah, I'm trying to stick to like the same color family for when I'm doing the bit on the blending board, because like what I'm gonna do next is once I'll show y'all, but once I've finished on the blending board, I'm gonna take it on off, and then I'm gonna actually do this again, but with multiple colors. So it was carding the roll eggs first, and then blending the similar colored roll eggs together. And then after that, we'll be blending different colored bats together. These are called bats that you make on the blending board. It's also possible to make roll eggs on the blending board, but that's not what I'm doing yet. But yeah, I kind of want to get more roll eggs done tonight. And I feel like because I am having an insomnia night, and I'm not like incredibly tired, although I am a little bit slow, but like that's fine. As long as I'm not like super slow brain, everything is fine. So because I am kind of already feeling the insomnias kicking in, I don't really mind streaming for a little longer, and the more roll eggs I have made, the happier I am going to be. Trying to like hold this in a way you guys can see more easily. Not really sure, maybe like that, yeah. But I also need to kind of be able to drag it all the way to the bottom. Uh, Dev, how are you doing? I'm doing good. Why do you ask, Parth? Um, I am enjoying what I am doing. Veggie says, my melons are done. Woo! What are you making, Veggie? Melons? What kind of melons? Never. I think most of the melons that I eat are raw, so... I usually have just like raw melons. So what kind of melon? What kind of melon are you doing? Just out of nowhere, glad to know you're enjoying. Yes, for sure. I'm doing good. Alrighty. Gonna just get a little more swoomfiness here. And this is gonna be the last layer. Where's the bluest one that I have there? How are you doing? Alright. You're making wait, what? Oh, you're playing Stardew, aren't you? That's where your melons are done. Your melons have grown. Your melon crops have grown. And you are soon to be a very, very rich man. Yo, I should plant some melons in Stardew. That's what I should do. Why haven't I planted any melons? Like, what am I even thinking? Why don't I have melon crops planted right now? What is the bluest thing I have? Maybe this purpley one and this one. This one. Oh, let's do purple. Yeah, I guess I got these two more. These two left. So this is interesting because there's still some like color differences with the wool, because, you know, not every single roll egg is exactly the same color. Yep, Stardew. Which rich womarn? Oh, sorry, Veggie. I wasn't meaning to misgender you. To me, in my brain, rich man is a very specific expression. Where it does not matter your gender. Rich man is a rich man, even if that rich man, even if said rich man is a woman. But yes, Stardew, need plant melon, need do thing. I had like a full strawberry harvest. I don't think I sold them. I think I was like, I gotta make strawberry jam. Gotta get all the money out of the strawberries. Or like I'm saving them for like when I have kegs or something. I should just sell them. I'm gonna make money faster if I sell them for melon seeds. It's fine. All things will work out. Alright, so after smushing this down, which kind of helps like smooth it out, straighten it out, mix it together, and all that stuff, I'm gonna grab some knitting needles. are very high up. There's one. Where's the other? Not very high up. They're just a little high up and very far back to the point where I can't reach. I don't even know where the other one is. There it is. Okay. Couldn't see them because they were on top of a thing. And what I'm doing with this so I put one knitting needle, I fluffed this up so the bit's sticking out the bottom, put the knitting needle underneath it, put one knitting needle under or above it, squeeze them together as much as I can, and just start kind of rolling. I usually get a couple false starts, and I might have to, I have to do it like that. And so if you're making roll eggs, you would be like pulling it out. You would be like pulling the knitting needles kind of up and towards me, to be making like a roll that's like tight and compact and stays together. But that's not what I'm doing here. So I'm just instead just rolling it off like this. I can use this little dog brush, and instead of pulling it towards me, I can kind of push the wool up. These are little neps and second cuts. But any bits that get stuck down, I can kind of push up. Nothing's really getting stuck down here, but you know, just in case. And just roll it off. Again, if I was making roll eggs, I would actually want to like kind of like roll it in the middle of the teeth again, but I don't. I'm making a bat. B-A-T-T. That is spelled. So what I want to be able to do is actually unwrap it from the knitting needles and have this little square of just wool, and I'm going to use this to put on and do the same thing I did with that, but just with more colors. So I'm going to roll it up this way so that kind of the direction of that the wool is going is the same direction as the tube I'm making, lengthwise on the tube I'm making. And then I just have a little blue tubey tube. And basically I'm going to do that with all the colors, and then I'm going to put them back, but mix all the colors together. It's a very cute sub badge. Thank you, Knitter Girl. I literally copied a Mareep sprite from Pokemon, like Pokemon Silver and Gold. I literally just copied the Mareep and recolored it. Well, I didn't exactly copy it. I added some things to it, but yeah. And Veggie says, for some reason this username suggests male. I don't know why. Really? To me, it, like, I guess I try very hard not to make any sort of assumption about people. Like, unless there's a specific gender, like, for example, Knitter Girls says the word girl in her name, so and let me know if you would rather that I not call you by female pronouns, Knitter Girl. But that's the only time that I'll call someone by certain pronouns, is if something directly suggestive of that pronoun is in their name. Otherwise, I'll always default to they. I think I make mistakes sometimes, but I'll always default to they and not make any assumption. Just because it's like easier not to have to think about it. But yeah, I wouldn't say that your name suggests anything to me, but like also, unless somebody's name specifies a gender, I don't like assume anything, so I'm probably not. Parth says, by the way, I'm he/him. Parth, would it be okay with you if I forget and call you they? Because I have a notoriously terrible memory. But if it is important that I call you by male pronouns, then I will make my best effort to do so. Okay, thank you. To be fair, I can't even remember my own pronouns, so I prefer they. That's not why, but I feel like it's a good joke if I could deliver it properly. I feel like I could deliver a good joke about not remembering my pronouns and therefore going by they. But yeah, no, I go by they because I'm just like not really sure about this whole gender business, to be honest. Shall I call you they? Yeah, if you can remember. If you're like me, then there's no guarantee you'll remember, but if you do, then that is my personal preference. I always feel so bad. Sometimes in real life, there's people who are like, sometimes there are people who are like, specifically like, want to be considered a certain pronoun, and I always feel bad that because I know I forget sometimes, and I'm like, it always makes me feel so guilty because I'm like, I don't know. I think most people who know me know that I don't mean it. But still, I don't want to make anyone feel like bad about it or anything. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how the spin's gonna be of this wool. I only know that I've spun bits of it before, but I've not prepared it properly, so I'm not really sure how the spin is gonna go. But the prep is going very nicely at this point. It wasn't. For the longest time, I could not figure out how to wash the lanolin out. Turns out I just needed to go way overboard on the soap and use some like grease cutting dish detergent and use like an entire bottle of it. And then and then it worked. Which is like seems like way too much to me, but it worked, so I'm not complaining. Well, a little complaining. It feels like a waste of dish soap. But it was useful. It worked. It was used. It was successful, so not a waste. Just copious amount. But yeah, like I literally used a whole bottle of dish soap on this. And then after dyeing it, I had to wash it out again. But then I washed it with wool soap, which smells very nice, and I like it. Not a waste if it smells nice. Very nice. And it's not sticky. And I did buy like the cheapest. So what I ended up doing is I just used like a handful of wool and I just saw what would happen if I just used pretty much undiluted dish soap on it, and it did work. It did get out the lanolin. So it was like, okay, I guess that's what I'm doing. And I just bought like the cheapest dish soap that was in the store, and just used the entire bottle. And like, I didn't even set out to use the entire bottle. I like just like, I legit like just washed it like enough times. I washed it like 4 times or something. I thought that the first wash with like a quarter of the bottle would do it, but no. I washed it 4 times using the entire bottle, and it's fine. Totally not a waste. I mean, you know what? It was like a $3.50 bottle of dish soap, and it made wool usable that I was gonna throw out, and a lot of wool. So, like, it's a fair amount of wool. So definitely not a waste. Still though, like, I honestly, I've been holding on to this wool for like 3 years, because I could not figure out what to do with it. No more, like 4 years. I think I've had this wool for 4 years, because I bought a bunch of it, and I could not figure out how to make it work, because it was just so stuck together with the lanolin. And I had washed it, and then I was like, oh, maybe if I wash it again. Okay, maybe if I wash it with dish soap. Maybe if I wash it again. Maybe if I use super hot water. And nothing I did worked. So, like, as a last-ditch attempt, I did an experiment just to be like, okay, if I use, like, way too much dish soap on this, you know, will it work? And it did. And I was like, okay, I guess I can salvage it then. Like, the lanolin was so thick, the dye wouldn't even penetrate the wool. Like, that was kind of the impressive part, is that's how much lanolin was in it. It was so much that the dye wouldn't even, like, penetrate into the wool. Until I removed it. And now now the colors are beautiful. But, like, yeah, I could not even dye this wool, which is, like, intensely coated. Thick wool. Knitter Girl says, oh, Vigi, you have a puppy? Vigi? Can I see pictures of your puppy? Can you put pictures of your puppy in the Discord? We have a pet photos channel. Can you put puppy photos? Would you? Yeah, no, lanolin is just, oh, such a pain. Yay, puppy! I'm like so excited. trying to grab the blue bits without grabbing the green bits. Not entirely possible, but getting as much as I can of just blue wool. And I can put the other bit aside and that'll be the just green wool. Ugh. This is like more on the teal side, I think, too. Cool. But yeah, Veggie, I don't know if you saw, but Knitter Girl was asking how the puppy is. And I just got like way too overexcited. Puppers is good, probably sleeping. Oh, puppy. Gotta see the photos. Alright. Doggo is so cute, says Pirate. Oh, I gotta see the puppy. And you were fishing, nice. Discord? That's not Discord. Where's Discord? There you are. Discord, puppy. Oh, he's so cute. Bandit. Aw. Is it because there's like the mask over the eyes? Grab. I need to do more fishing in Stardew too, but I should really just sell all my strawberries, grow melons. I'm trying to like make the most money fastest, so I thought I'm gonna wait until I have kegs, because then I can make strawberry wine with my summer strawberries or spring strawberries. But now I'm thinking like that's probably a bad idea because I'm not going to get that for a while, and then getting the materials for that's going to take even longer. So I think I should just sell them all plain and just get melon seeds for the summer. I'm also on a beach farm, so I can't afford sprinklers, which is pretty unfortunate. But I wanted to use all the new features of the new update. Which is silly, because I haven't even used all the old features of the old update. Of the, like, previous games, so... game version. So, I don't really know why I was like, no, must use all new features. before I've even ever, like, truly beaten the game. Oops, this got caught together. Alright. Veggie says, I don't know the actual reasons for his name since we kept the name he had. I'm pretty sure it's because he stole something, so probably not far off. Alright. Very cute. I'm just thinking he's got a cute, like, face mask, bandit mask. A lot of wool. Like, I'm realizing, like, this is a fairly large quantity of wool that I'm carding here. No complaint. I'm like, I wonder how long it's actually going to take me to get through this, because it seems pretty time consuming. Like, I always recognized it as, like, a decent amount of wool. Always. Yeah. But I recognize it as a decent amount of wool. But I'm just starting to recognize it as, like, this might take a couple days. Preferably not. It'll definitely take a couple hours. Just depends how much I want to focus on doing it. And I'm just talking the preliminary step. It's going to take a few hours. And then making bats out of it is going to take another couple hours. And then making multicolor bats out of those is going to take even more hours. Although that'll be the fun part, because I'll get to play with color. This isn't terrible. Like, I don't hate doing this, but I wouldn't say this is, like, the fun part, you know? Veggie says, we got our puppy from a co-worker of my husband's who didn't want to leave the doggo with his wife. Since they got dropped off with him, she's more of a cat person, and he was in the late stages of rare stomach cancer. Oh, that's sad. But it's good that he was, like, thinking of like, what was best for everyone. Leave the dog with someone who actually wants dog. finding it interesting that there are so many white spots in this wool. No complaints. It's adding a nice kind of dimension to the color. Like, this is a nice, like, kind of reminds me of those pineapple flavor candy, like pineapple flavor hard candy. It's kind of like an orangey yellow, but it's a very light orangey yellow, so it's like definitely pineapple candy vibes. BRB, y'all. Yeah, he fits in perfectly. Yay. So I'm just basically making sure that this is not terribly lumpy by taking out all the bits that are too short. Hey again, Krat, how are you doing? Did you get your milk? Oh, I'm so, like, I got my money back and it was fine, but, like, I bought milk the other day, and it was like 2 weeks before its expiry date, and the milk had already curdled, and I was like, so, like, why? Because I put it in my coffee, and I was just like, oh no, wasted coffee. Krat says, I keep having nightmares and I want to sleep. Oh no, that's sucky. You want to talk about it? I don't know. I usually have nightmares right before I wake up. It's very rare for me to have nightmares that actually, like, wake me up at night. And I can usually go right back to sleep if I do. Veggie's like, oof, sad coffee. Sad coffee. Our nightmares sad coffee. And welcome back, Barb. Our nightmares sad coffee because they keep you up, but not in a good way. Oh, curdled milk coffee, much sad. Yeah, no, that coffee did not get drank. That was sad coffee. I know, it was like I poured the milk in the coffee and just like white bits floated to the top, and I was just like, it was almost nice because they were all contrasty, but then ew, it was mostly ick. My brain is so weird. I don't even remember the last thing I said. I feel like that's like a normal streamer thing though. Like every time I go to someone else's stream, they're like either like really on point or like just like cursing their terrible memory and focus. I'm surely the latter. Krat says I don't typically have them, but it's just I wake up thinking someone has broken into the house. Oof. Yeah, I know that's scary. Those dreams that trick you into thinking they're real. Oh no, this one doesn't want to be a worm. The one's a very, very chonky worm. I think I'm gonna redo it though. I'm gonna put a bit less. That's usually what happens is when there's too much wool on the cards. It gets it tends to like spring out too much and become too chonk. Yeah, I hate those dreams because then you have to check. For a while, for like a couple weeks, I was having those dreams, but about streaming. I was like, I kept waking up thinking I was streaming, like talking as if I was streaming. And then I would have to check my computer and my camera to make sure that it was off and I didn't accidentally turn it on in my sleep. But again, like they weren't really bothering me at night. They were just happening mostly in the mornings. So I would like wake up and then check. And, like I would still go back to sleep because like sleep is nice, but I don't think that they were like preventing me from sleeping through the night per se. Hiss. Hello Yari, how are you doing today? I am carding some wool. The little fluffy worms. I like my fluffy little worms. Yari says, who here wants a sub? Heck, Yari, already? I mean, I'm not complaining, but... Oh, and speaking of which, Cajun Gamer, thank you for the follow. I'm so sorry I missed you 5 minutes ago when you actually followed, but many appreciations for following anyways. And welcome to the stream. We do all the fiber art stuff here, and I can't hear follow notifications because probably because my computer sucks. Could be for another reason, could be that I just can't figure it out, but it's most likely just because my computer has decided it doesn't want to today. Keep getting a piece of wool just randomly. Yari has gifted a sub to Parth. Thank you for the gift sub, Yari, and Parth, enjoy your sheep emotes. Your rainbow sheep emotes. Oh, and I missed that. Yari, thank you for the gift sub to Knitter Girl. Also enjoy the sheepy emotes. Not really rainbow, it's like pink and purple sheep. Knitter Girl says, Yari, hello to a wonderful friend. Veggie says, turkey guac, please. Turkey guac. I'll take it. I'll take some. I would like that kind of sub also. Yay, lurky sheep. Knitter Girl says, Yari, how are you? And says, thank you so much for the lovely gifted sub. And Parth also says, OMG, thank you. Yari just wants to make sure nobody's left behind. Oh, there's so much white yarn. Wool. Well, it's not, grand scheme, not that much. I'm just picking out the white ones in particular right now to use them. All right, that's, I mean, that's too much. Probably like, Yari, don't, please don't. Wait, no, don't do it, Yari. I didn't see that. No, Yari, don't do that. Don't do the thing. You'd miss out on the yarn spinning streams. Also, we care about you and like you, Yari. We do not want that. What's going on, Yari? How are you doing? What's, I mean, I guess, what's got you down? Maybe talking about it will help. Of course, if it is private, no need to share. But we're definitely here with open ears, minds, and hearts to listen. We are here. We be here. Yes. Okay, now my hair is all falling out, and I'm not sure why. I wake up cursing my humanity is no bueno. Oh no, Yari. Can't really do much about just not wanting to be human. But you know, at least being human means that you're like experiencing things and alive, you know, in general. means that you have thoughts to think and experiences to experience. Ah, my nose is itchy. I've got the sniffles. And even if those thoughts and experiences aren't super great, better to be than not to be. Humans are interesting. Yeah. Although I don't believe that Yari is human. I have been informed by Yari that Yari is in fact not human. Just full on species dysphoria. Oh noes. Parth says, given that we are the most intelligent life form that we know, and the fact that we are hundreds and thousands of kilometers apart, and yet communicating, it's pretty good. Yeah, Yari's a space ferret. Or a galaxy weasel. Or a star noodle. Somebody said star noodle at some point. I like star noodle. Star Stoat. Star Stoat, I like it. Finding this very satisfying. This little worm doesn't want to worm. Do it, little worm. I believe in you. Oh, they're so like light and fluffy, which is nice until like then I realize being light and fluffy means that there's not very much wool in each one, and that means more effort for Deb. That's fine. I need more yellow to go in here. Yellow and yellow. Need to like grab. Put. Grab. Well, like just for reference, got like this much left, which is, you know, it's nice. It's cool. Found a particular color I kind of like a lot. It's kind of like a dark purpley color. I want to find more of it. But yes, so much more wool to go through. So we're going to be here for a while, guys. I am definitely streaming for longer than I usually do today. Just because I have, I guess, the energy to do so. And insomnia happens to be a thing that is currently affecting me. I don't always know if I'm having insomnia, but today I'm just like, I don't always know if I'm being an insomniac until I have already gone to sleep or attempted to go to sleep. But on this day, I do know that my insomnia is affecting me because I can feel it. What's a stoat? A type of weasel. Oh, so cute. We be here for you too, Dev. Dev is okay. Dev is just insomniac. Insomniac is not like harmful thing for Dev. Well, Dev would like to be able to sleep, but Dev is fine emotionally despite being insomniac. At this point in time. And on this timeline. Cannot speak for other Dev timelines. There are other Dev timelines. Not that I've been able to access. I'm just assuming that there's a multiverse, and therefore there must be other Dev timelines. Makes sense. Exactly. Dev really wants to be a part of the, like, Marvel superhero universe. But only if Dev actually gets to be a Marvel superhero. Same with anime. If Dev doesn't get to be at least a cool secondary character, Dev is not happy. of think, hello, how do I say your name? Ablurie? I kind of think what you're doing is a superhero power. No, I'm taking, well, thank you. Aw, shucks. Little less action, but definitely little less action, and I'm not sure how it saves the world, but I do my best. And no, I'm actually taking wool that was off a sheep. I cleaned it, dyed it, and now I'm carding it into Rolex so that I can spin it. So this has never been spun before. First spin for everything. But I have done that before. I have reused yarn scrap. Actually, I have a tweed yarn right here that I'm in the middle of spinning that is reusing yarn scraps. Oh, a Blu-ray! I see. I wanted to pronounce it as like all one word, but I didn't. But I failed. But yeah, I definitely do love finding ways to recycle yarn scraps. But right now, I'm just making some wool, making some yarn. Well, welcome, Blu-ray. I do yarn spinning, knitting, fiber arts. I've done some needle felting, crochet, weaving. I like to weave. Weaving fun. I do stuff, and it's usually wool related on the stream. And I do like to kind of talk with a no subject is off limits unless it's not PG. But like aside from that, all topics are fair to talk about. And welcome. Supervillain dev? I mean, I feel like I wouldn't make a very good supervillain. I'm not like charismatic enough. Maybe I am. Maybe I would like become more charismatic if I was in a superhero timeline, and then I'd be like a supervillain. But like I would definitely be like a supervillain who's like not actually fully evil, just happens to not agree with the superheroes for whatever reason. And then that ends up getting us like into fights. But like in the end not actually like a mean person, because like can't be a mean person. I don't want to hurt people. Is that like the number one thing that differentiates like superheroes and supervillains, is that supervillains hurt people whereas superheroes try and help them? Like, couldn't be a supervillain. Couldn't hurt people. Know that. Could do it by accident. Could accidentally hurt people. But like, that's still like kind of a superhero trait still. So I don't see myself as a super... I don't know if I could be a supervillain. Though definitely like someone who gets into constant fights with the superheroes. That I could manage. That would be me. A supervillain who turns everything into yarn. Okay, maybe. Just letting my yarn addiction get the best of me. Oh, what's that? You were going to feed the poor? Well, now I'm going to take that food and I'm going to make it into the most luxurious sweater you've ever seen. What's that? You can't eat sweaters? Well, how is that my problem? Blu-ray says that's pretty cool. I'm a knitter, but all my projects are half done. Yo, same though. I mean, I've gotten some projects finished, but like, they're all half done though. so many half-done projects. The only reason I think I'm finishing projects recently is because I'm streaming, and so that kind of forces me to sit down and knit whether I feel like it or not, which is a lot better because I think I get motivational issues when I'm like not super in love with a project anymore. Oh yeah, grab a raffle ticket if you guys haven't already. You need to be following in order to be eligible for the raffle. The raffle prizes the raffle winner will be decided the 28th, which is in like 2 days. 1 day. It's like tomorrow, isn't it? And yeah, so you gotta be following, and you have to go to the channel points redeem and redeem 1 channel point for a raffle ticket. So it's as free as I could make it. And you'll be eligible to win your choice of hand spun yarn, hand woven scarf, needle felted kitty cat, it's a cat, it's cute, or some wool and a drop spindle if you want to learn to spin, or if you already have spinning tools, you can get double the wool and do the spin. And it will be like shipped out to you for my expense, basically, on my expense. So yeah, grab the thing. It's all because of because I reached a sub goal. So yay. Hey Mysterious, how are you doing today? Hey, Tuhis. Streaming certainly forces focus to the project at hand, even when you're not feeling it. Yeah. I mean, it's not like I've ever been like, oh, I hate this project, because at that point I'm just gonna undo it. I'm not gonna keep working on something that I hate working on, unless it's like nearly done. But there's definitely been times when I've just kind of forgotten about a project, and kind of coming back to the same project every day on the stream definitely encourages me to finish it. And hello and welcome everyone. And yeah, if you are following, you're eligible. If you haven't followed already, just go ahead and drop a follow and you will be eligible for the raffle. If you're not sure whether or not you want to follow, feel free to grab a raffle ticket anyways, as long as you have enough channel points. And when we do the raffle, then we will just check to see if you're following at that time. Mysterious says, I'm trying to crochet, tried to do a hat and messed it up and had to scrap it. Oh no! Is this like your first crochet project? Good luck. And I learned to knit before I learned to crochet. And definitely learning to crochet was like it was an experience. But now I'm pretty confident with both. Still more confident knitting, especially when it comes to like what I can do without looking or without paying any attention. But also a lot more confident with crocheting, to the point where I feel like I can make anything, but just gotta pay attention. Ray says, don't give up, Mysterious, you can do it. Aw. Yes, you can do it. super tangled. That's why I'm being rough with it. Have little confetti, wool confetti on my floor right now. I'm gonna sweep up after the stream. I'm promising myself this. Gotta sweep after the stream. But yeah, if anyone is interested, I am currently carding, which basically just straightens out and smooths out the fibers and kind of puts them into a preparation where they are ready to spin. So the first thing I do is I put the locks on the carders. And then I just, basically these are like giant dog brushes, and I'm just, basically the wool is catching on the tips of the tines as I use them to brush the wool down. And once I've done a few passes, and picked out all the little neps out that I can. Once I've done a few passes with the cards, then I basically just fold all the wool in neatly and use the other card to roll the wool off into this little tube, and then this tube is ready to spin. I'm personally not going to spin it as a tube. I'm just using this as like a temporary preparation until I've so that I can get because I want to kind of mix the colors more in the future. Yuri says, so Dev, if you were a space ferret, would you use your quills as knitting needles? Well, I hear that they're venomous. So, like, I don't know. But, like, very probable. Very probably. I feel like that, I mean, I don't know, but couldn't that even be, like, a cultural thing? Like, it would make sense to me that space ferrets would invent knitting. So knitting is one of the newer fiber arts in Earth history. Knitting is one of the newer fiber arts. There were other fiber arts invented before knitting. However, if there were readily available quills, like fabrics, rather. Knitting is one of the newer fabrics. There were other methods of making fabric invented before knitting, but knitting is fairly new compared to the others, which are like weaving and nail binding and stuff like that, and felting even. So I feel like it could be said that if the species basically has readily available knitting needles, knitting may be invented faster, given that the tools are already available and are likely used for many crafts. Yes, but they can be cleaned out, and we are generally immune to our own venom. Yeah. Hello, Lucy back. Hello. Yes, I do crochet. I don't crochet as much as I knit because I'm more comfortable with knitting and can do so without looking or thinking very much, but I do very much crochet and I do enjoy it. But yeah, I feel like in Space Ferret lore, I would be actually very unsurprised if they didn't, if they hadn't invented knitting faster, anthropologically, quicker than humans have. lost a tine. One of the little teeth of my Carter came out, and I'm sad because that means I'm going to need to buy new ones eventually. You're making baby blankets. Oh, very nice. And thank you for the follow, Lucy. Make sure you guys who have just followed, and thank you, Blu-ray, for the follow as well. Make sure you guys go to the Channel Point store. It's that little, it's either an icon or a number to the bottom left of the chat, or just if you're on mobile to the left side of the chat. And you click on that or tap on that, and then it'll give you options of what channel points rewards what you want to get. And channel points are free. They accumulate with time of watching the stream, and it only costs 1 channel point to grab the raffle ticket. And raffle ticket means you might win something. You might win wool or a scarf. Whatever your choice is. My brain is like, I've explained this so many times, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. But at least I explained where the thing was, which I think sometimes people are like, I don't understand the concept of channel points, which is good. At least I could explain that much. I am not putting the same colors together now. That's blue and red. Those are very different colors. Hopefully this will be a nice purple though. I was just like, I've mostly been trying to make the same colors good. How did you know I didn't know how to use Twitch? Are you a mind reader? Well, you didn't buy the ticket yet, so I just assumed. There's 3 types of people. That's it, just 3. No, obviously not. But from what I know, there's 3 types of people. There's people who buy the ticket immediately. There's people who don't want to buy the ticket for whichever reason. And then there's people who kind of want to buy the ticket but don't want to but are having trouble figuring it out. And I'm like, just in case you're the last one. I never know if you're the first kind or the second kind of person who hasn't bought the ticket. But I always like to explain just in case. You're making baby blankets. That's really cool. And yes, I'm making my own yarn. So blankets are the thing that I can never end up knitting. Weaving is easy to weave baby blankets, but whenever I'm knitting baby blankets, I'm just or any blankets, I'm just it's a square. My brain just doesn't like to knit squares. My brain is just no, it needs to be complicated. Make it complicated, please. Yari, thank you for the gift sub. Lucy, enjoy the sub and your rainbow sheet emotes. Literally, people who know how to use Twitch. I mean, yeah, I feel like it would have taken me. I don't think I would have bothered using Twitch or learning Twitch or anything if I didn't want to stream. I'm specifically here because my friend was like, hey, you knit all the time. You should stream knitting on Twitch. To which I gave her a strange look and said, nobody's gonna want to watch that. And oh boy, how wrong was I. But one of the best times I've ever been proven wrong. But also, I had never used it beforehand, and it actually took me a while to even be why would anyone want to use this platform? It's weird. And now I like it. But I'm not sure I ever would have used Twitch if I hadn't started streaming before I started Sherby's like, oh, hey, Sherby, how are you doing? Oh, you, unlike them gloves? I think you mean I like the gloves? Wait. You like the socks? Do you make poncho? I have never made poncho. Made a poncho. I like them gloves. Yo, thank you. Yes, I wear those fingerless gloves out all the time. And the socks too. I'm not wearing those socks today. I'm wearing different socks today. Although I guess there's 2 sock photos that are in my slideshow. Okay, but has someone ever crocheted a tortilla blanket? What's a tortilla blanket? Is that like just like a circular blanket? Tortillas are circular. I'm confused. But thank you. I'm glad you like my gloves and socks. Bye bye, crochet hook. Tortilla blanket is only $30 on Amazon. The yarn would cost me more, I think. Maybe cheap acrylic. I do not know what you... Is this like just a blanket with like a tortilla like that looks like food? Is this just a blanket that looks like it is a tortilla? That is decorated to look like a tortilla? This is what my brain is imagining. If so, even cheap acrylic yarn sounds like it might be more expensive than like... I would say that, yeah, if you get like the cheapest acrylic yarn, maybe. But usually it's way cheaper to buy things than it is to buy the materials for them. And this is just because factories get the materials at a really cheap cost because they buy in bulk and direct from suppliers. And then they pay people unlivable wages to make those things. So, suggested if you want to save money, go fund child labor. Wait, no, it's not what I mean. But yeah, if you want to save money, buy the cheap stuff from the Amazon. For sure. And like, no judge. Everybody needs to spend money. I was... Ray says, I like them gloves that I cannot lie. Them other people try to deny. When a dev walks in with itty bitty needles. I don't know. Talking about Pokemon and wheels. I'm bad at rhyming. Don't judge me. Hey Sherby, how are you doing? I am doing good. Lucy says, I like the stuff you make. I'm not that good, I just make blankets and scarves and pot holders. I literally can't, like, I don't know, like, I can't make those, like, I can't make rectangles. Rectangles are too hard. I want my things to be, I don't know, shaped somehow. I don't know if that's a weird. I hear that's a weird brain. Fun child labor to reverse, David. I mean, if you want to save money, you go fund child labor. That's how you do it. Round blanket literally looks like a tortilla. Oh, that sounds awesome. Literally look like a huge tortilla, burnt and everything. I'm just trying to read all the comments and see if anyone's like asked anything. It's burrito time at bedtime because he likes to steal blankets and wrap up in them. Yeah, bedtime is burrito time. If you do not celebrate burrito time, then you are doing sleep wrong. If you do not observe burrito time, then you are doing sleep incorrectly. Like them gloves. Good rhyming, yeah. Good rhyming. I did a Pokemon rhyme. Pokemon rhymes are always the right rhymes because Pokemon rhyme with almost everything. Sneezes can be dangerous. What? I don't know. Mysterious says I want to learn to crochet a cardigan, round blanket, and soft bee. That's all. So basically, one garment, one blanket, and one amigurumi. And then that's it. And then you'll stop crocheting forever. And then you'll be like, yes, my life is complete. I never need to crochet again. Oh, I want to make... My brain was just like, I know what I want to make with because my name, Dev, is short for Devora. Devora is Hebrew for honeybee. I want to make a little needle felted bee because bees are cute. Ray says, Knitter Girl randomly typed, I sneeze, and I was commenting on that. Yes. Bless you, Knitter Girl. Made my son a full-size blanket. Oh my gosh. Yes, blankets are like so time-consuming. Wow. Look at that. Look at that, like, what's the word? Like, drive, I guess, to finish. There's a word. Stick-to-itiveness? It's not a real word. So much willpower to finish a blanket. Bees are not scary. Do I look scary to you, Parth? Do I look scary to you? Don't say I look scary. I'll come get you and I'll beat you up. I'll find you in your home. I don't know. I'm trying to be scary. I don't think that was scary. I think that was just creepy. I won't do that. I promise. I'm not a scary person. I promise. No, not scary. Oh, Ray, thank you for the stretch. I always want to do the back stretches. I'm actually gonna run to the washroom. I'll be back. It makes me do things. It's literally manipulate the dev. You tell me to stretch, I must stretch. It is rules of Twitch. But yes, I'm going to get up and grab a washroom break. So I'll be back in like 1 minute. Streamlabs is slow. Oh, hydration. I have water in here, I promise. You can't see because it's in a mug, but it is in fact water. And yes, make sure you guys grab some tickets. You can also grab a ticket once a day. So once per stream. So if you guys come back tomorrow and the next day, if you guys come back next stream and then the stream after that, or actually no, next stream because today's the 27th, right? Yeah. So if you come back tomorrow for tomorrow's stream, then you'll be able to grab another ticket if you get here before I do the raffle. And I think in the future I am going, so I've been doing like a week from the time that I get to the sub goal to the time that I do the raffle. I think I'm going to shorten that amount of time probably to 5 days. Just to make it, just because it's been happening fairly frequently, and I'm like, yeah, a week seems like a long time to wait if it's going to be happening fairly often. It's like I have to wait longer from the beginning of the giveaway to the end of the giveaway than I'm going to end up waiting between the end of the first giveaway and the beginning of the second giveaway. So it just makes more sense to me to do all the to do the giveaways more often, or rather to have less time in between, or less time for each like raffle period, each period that people like buy tickets for, basically. Means I can do it more often. Burrito time. Oh, Ray, sorry. Good night. Have a great night. I totally missed that. Enjoy burrito time. I hope you have a lovely time of the burrito. Alright, it says, Mysterious, we're so bossy. Oh no. No, it's fine. I'll see you again soon, Ray. Sleep well and sweet dreams. The Knitter Girl says, welcome back. Thank you, Knitter Girl. I peed. I feel better now. Mysterious says, I love your hair. Thank you so much. And Freak Fire Shows, thank you for the follow. Welcome, welcome. If you want to grab a raffle ticket, we're doing a giveaway tomorrow. And for that giveaway, you can win either some Fiber Arts tools or finished Fiber Arts products. All you have are like a scarf and a cat sculpture. The Fiber Arts things are some hand spun yarn and some wool that I carded myself with a drop spindle. If you want to learn to spin, or if you already have spinning tools at home, then you can just get more wool. So definitely grab a ticket if you haven't already. Go to the Channel Point store. Go to the Channel Point store. It's to the left of your chat. If you're on mobile, and to the bottom left under your chat, but on the left side if you're on computer, and you click on, it's either a number or an icon. Click on that and then you redeem the raffle ticket. For it's just one channel point. I made it as cheap as I could. It's free. It's essentially free. But, you know, no pressure if you don't want to. And the shipping is on me, because it is a subscriber goal, so should be able to afford. What are spinning bats? Spinning bats are this. So it's just a type of preparation. It's a bat, B-A-T-T. I don't know why it has two T's, but it does. And it's kind of like, and it's just like a flat-ish square that you can spin into yarn. And it'll come with a drop spindle, which is this thingamawit, and you just kind of spin it like that, and then you pull out yarn from it, essentially. I don't know. I can definitely do a better demonstration than that if somebody wins, or even if you don't win and you just buy the tools. I will be happy to do a demonstration and show you how on stream, because I am super about teaching and learning and all such things. Welcome to all the new followers, says Ninja Girl. Yes, thank you. So many people today. Thank you so much for all the new follows, guys. And welcome to the Fiber Arts stream. Did I make the spindle? I mean, technically, yeah. I wouldn't say I'm like, I wouldn't really call it handmade. All I did was buy a wooden wheel and a dowel and a hook and glue them together and then put a bit of finish on. So they're hardly handmade, but technically, yes, I did put them together and come up with the idea to do that, I guess. Soft yarn, soft. Lucy came back. Yari says hiss. Hiss, Yari, yes? Is there a thing, or are you trying, do you wish to communicate something? Because I do not speak the language of your people. I do not speak Space Ferret. However, if that was just a non-specific hiss for the sake of hissing, then that's fine too. I'm just not sure. Must confirm. Lucy says, I'd like to see how you spin that yarn. Oh, for sure. I actually do a lot of spinning. I was doing spinning like right before you guys got here. But I used up all of the bobbins. I made all these bobbins today. I filled all these bobbins today. But yeah, I can show you a quick demo. So here's a raw leg. I don't know how it got so long, but it did. This, whatever wool this is made out of is just kind of long. And I gotta kind of stand up for this because I want to have a bunch of length between myself and the floor. And basically what I do is get that out of the way, spin it, and basically the twist is what's keeping it together. So I guess the first thing is that if I have this and I pull, it's just gonna come right apart. But if I have this and I give it like a couple twists, here, and I give it a couple twists and I pull, then it doesn't come apart. That was actually like totally lies. That was like not enough twists. Okay. I give it more than a couple twists. This one just wants to be twisted up a lot. But now I can pull on it and it won't come apart. But if I let the twist out and untwist it, then it'll just come right back apart again. So basically what spinning is you want to put twist in, but also pull it out so that it's a thinner part that gets the twist in, so that the yarn's not like super thick. And pulling it out has added benefits like making the yarn a little smoother and stuff. And essentially that's all it is this bit spinning. And it does take some technique to get it spinning, let go, and then start pulling out here. But once you've got the hang of it, you can just let it keep spinning, pull out everything you want, and then wrap it back around. Does that make sense? Any questions? I am happy to take questions. And yeah, definitely if you guys like are able to like grab like spinning supplies, I would be happy to do a demonstration. Anytime if somebody just comes to the stream and it's like, hey, so I've got spinning stuff, do you mind showing me how to do it? Then I will by all means stop what I'm doing to show. Unless I'm like in the middle of something, but I'll stop as soon as I can. To help out, because I love sharing the craft. I love it. It's so much fun. Hello, super curly one. Welcome. Excuse me, you must get this so often. The Celine Dion of Twitch. So this is a PG-13 stream, so I'm gonna delete that message. Please watch your language. But thank you for the compliment. Yeah, it's something that is like, it can be tricky to get the hang of. But when you've got the hang of like doing both things, and I feel like everyone has like a different, like I've shown people how to spin who have like just immediately gotten the hang of it. They're like, no problem. And then me and other people, when learning to spin, are like fumbling and trying to like catch the spindle and then spin at the same time and just have no idea what they're doing. Like that was 100% me when I started. So people all have like different, I guess, so I think like for but it can be really fun to like see someone just kind of catch on immediately. But it could also be fun to like learn and kind of get the hang of it and be like, oh, okay, I get it. Satisfying. But yeah, there are also tons and tons of YouTube tutorials and online tutorials of how to do it. Like, I would be careful when searching YouTube. Make sure it's somebody who has like a lot of spinning videos. there have been kind of a trend of people learning to spin, and then like as soon as they've learned to spin, they kind of put up a drop spinning video. And although that's, I mean, they can do what they want. It's like, you know, it's fun and all that for sure, and it can be a good learning tool to learn something and then attempt to teach it, because you can you often learn more by like trying to explain or teach something than you do by just doing the thing. However, I would advise you to make sure that the person with the teaching video actually has other teaching videos, or other spinning videos rather, more advanced stuff if you are going to learn off of YouTube, because also if somebody's kind of a novice spinner and they're just kind of teaching for the fun of it instead of because they're actually an expert spinner, then that means that they may be doing incorrect technique, or just maybe not teaching the best way they possibly could. And I fall into that category, by the way. Like I've been spinning for a long time and can do a lot of spinning, so I'm not quite as novice as what I'm talking about, but I'm definitely not an experienced teacher, and I'm not like an expert spinner by any means. Oh, have a great night, Mysterious. Sleep well. We'll see you again. Have a great night. I don't know much about knitting, and I like crafts. Lucy, nice. Yes, crafts are great. What craft would you want to get into if you could, like, just, like, learn any craft, I guess? I mean, I guess you could, but, like, what's the craft you want to get into the most? Parth says good night, and Knitter Girl also says good night and stay safe. What am I trying to do? I want to... It's all on the floor. I'm gonna grab this, like, orange. Orange is the next color. Oh, no, come back. Be on the floor. Lucy says, I would like to know how to make gloves. Gloves, yeah, gloves is fun. If you're talking about, I'm trying to think of, like, how, so I learned to crochet gloves because I like to knit gloves, and I find crocheting is just a little bit easier to make gloves with. And I think you said that you crochet, right? Or do you knit? Only crocheting. So, I mean, gloves aren't too hard once you've gotten the hang of it, but I don't know any good glove tutorials that are for crochet, only for knitting. As for crochet socks, like, if you want to actually wear them for walking, you're gonna need to use a tiny, tiny hook, because the stitches are so much bigger than knit stitches with crochet. Or not bigger, but they're, like, bulkier, they're more textured. It's kind of like you're walking on a bunch of little knots. So in order to make that comfortable, you would want those knots to be tiny so that you can't feel them. So you would want to use, like, a 1mm crochet hook with some, like, really thin thread. But if you want to make slippers, that's definitely a thing to do. Crochet slippers are fairly easy, and there are a lot of tutorials for those online. Or like house socks. Again, there are a lot of tutorials for those online. But yeah, I think for crochet gloves, the best way to do it, like mittens, if you want to make crochet mittens, you do a tube, starting here, you do a tube, and then when you get to wherever you want the thumb to be, you start crochet flat, and then when it's a big enough hole for the thumb, then you join it again and keep knitting in a tube. Or if you're not comfortable with that, you can actually knit the whole thing flat and just seam it together on the edges the same way. So knit a flat rectangle and then seam it together up to your thumb, leave a hole, seam it together past your thumb, seam it together on the top, and then just crochet a tube for the thumb or a flat piece that then you seam together for the thumb. Oh, good night, Knitter Girl. Have a great night. Enjoy burrito time. And yes, sweet dreams. Sleep well. Like I would use extremely thin, like pretty much like lace weight yarn for crochet socks. But knitting is still better recommended for socks just because knitting is stretchy and crochet tends to be a lot less stretchy, and because feet are kind of a complicated shape, having something that's a little bit too tight, like a little bit smaller, but stretches comfortably around the foot, is really a good thing, especially when you can when it also means the sock doesn't like sag down on your foot, because it's being held up by the stretch around